solely an American issue. For Vietnamese, inside their country and out, this is a time of great and wrenching change. Joining me now is filmmaker and actress Tiana. She was born in Vietnam at a time of war. Her father, who worked for the South Vietnamese government, fled with the family to the United States in 1966. Tiana became a citizen and last year, over the objections of her father, returned to her native land. She produced a documentary of her journey from Hollywood to Hanoi, and she joins us now. Thanks very much for coming in.
Come on, thank you.
We spoke first after your documentary was released last July. Since then, you've been back to Vietnam many times, and now you've seen the embargo lifted. Your documentary was shown on Capitol Hill last night. First, I'm curious personally as to your own reaction to this change in relations.
A lot's going on in my mind. First of all, it is Tet, Vietnamese New Year, and we all knew it as an offensive. It's now a time for celebration. I'm very, very thrilled with President Clinton's decision, and so many of us, the silent majority of Vietnamese living by the millions all over the world, are rejoicing silently.
Now, you went around the United States a great deal with your documentary, your personal journey.
I wince every time you say documentary. Well, it's a film.
A film, okay.
Actually, it's being produced, executive produced by Oliver Stone, so we can get out to a wider audience. We're opening the film this spring in Los Angeles.
But you went around and you spoke to Vietnamese throughout the United States, and you argued on behalf of improved relations, and you found a lot of resistance to that among Vietnamese here. Why? What was their complaint?
The resistance came actually in the minority. I didn't find a lot.
It was vocal, though, you told me.
It was very, very noisy because we are so emotional. There would be one man in the theater who would say, you know, and there would be a lot of pain in his voice, and he would say, how can you go back? It would be like sleeping with the enemy. And
that's what your father said to you, too.
But that comes from a school of thought that Vietnam and the Vietnamese are still our enemy. The Vietnamese are my people. And
how does your father feel about it?
My father feels now that there has to be a family reconciliation. He recognizes that his daughter has been working towards what he's wanted all his life. The only thing that was hard for him was that I went to the North, but the North used to be our ancient capital, and it is an extraordinary place.
Among the subjects you touch upon in your film, which are very poignant, is the treatment of Amerasians, a legacy left behind. A clip now of some Amerasians back in Vietnam.
Không có thấy cha, mà chỉ biết mẹ. Giờ mẹ em đi theo ba sao mất rồi. Bây giờ có vụ đăng ký em ra đăng ký để đi có hình em kiếm cha em thôi.
Biết tên cha không?
Biết.
Tên cha là tên gì?
Vâng, Phi biết.
Có biên lên sau lưng không?
Không.
Tên cha viết làm sao?
Em không biết chữ.
Wow. How did you say the name? Nói tên trở lại.
Em đâu có học đâu mà em nói.
Ở xứ Mỹ là cũng người quê cha mình ở đó, giờ ở sống bệnh, giờ là đó chiến tranh qua đây á, thì bỏ rơi rớt những đứa con lai ở bên đây.
Xứ Mỹ là cái gì? Em này nói xứ Mỹ là cái gì?
Xứ Mỹ là dòng họ. Xứ Mỹ là dòng họ, cha mẹ mình phải kiếm cha mẹ mình về bển ở cho sung sướng cuộc đời một tí, chứ ở bên đây đánh đập đuổi quá cô ơi.
Mẹ người Việt Nam mà nó.
They mistreat us here. How many Amerasians in Vietnam, and what is their life like there?
Frank, these are the new POWs. They are the prisoners of war. They are the sons and daughters of American GIs and or business contractors and Vietnamese, and they have been treated so badly by both sides in the sense that we have swept them under the carpet.
What will happen to them now in this improving climate?
They have been coming over the period of the last 5 years under the Amerasian Homecoming Act, an act of Congress, and they have been doing very poorly.
What do you mean?
They have not been finding their fathers. We took so long. They're not children. People ask if they can adopt Amerasian children, and I remind them that these young adults are in their 20s and 30s. They have children of their own. So somewhere
and they can't
out
read.
there, they're illiterate in both languages, English and in Vietnamese, and they've been living in this country. And our government ask them to pay back for their plane ticket when they come over here. So they are doing very poorly, and they're very, very confused, and there's no real program to accept them as Americans.
Amerasians in this country, too, are struggling with their identity. We have another clip of your film. Let's look.
So you're half Vietnamese, half American, right?
No, I got Vietnamese blood, but I lived in the United States all my life. I got American passport, so I guess I'm American, both, I guess. I don't know.
American, Vietnamese, both.
The Asian American question of cultural identity is a very new issue among us because we are the new Americans, and this is an issue to be addressed, and now we can begin to talk about it.
Is it harder to be a Vietnamese American, do you suppose, than it is a Chinese American or an Italian American?
Because America and Vietnam were at war for so long, and because the issues were never resolved, from Agent Orange, where we could really learn about the long-term effects of chemical warfare and know about perhaps breast cancer if we were to begin the research. So you have the Amerasians, what I call the new POWs, who are coming over here to find a home as Americans. We have the Agent Orange issues. We have the divided families. The issues go on and on. We have malnutrition, rampant malnutrition in Vietnam. We have children who are still dying, playing in the fields that live mines still go off and kill these children, so that we must address these issues before we go in and sell, you know, Coca-Cola by the barrel, which is already being done in Vietnam.
Much work to do.
Yes, a lot of work to do. So this is a new beginning and a celebration.
Tiana, thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And that concludes this portion of the International Hour. In Washington, I'm Frank Sesnos. See you, Hillary.
Good night, Frank. And in London, I'm Hilary Bowker. World Report is next.